Sony's biggest things that they've been able to accomplish is turn things that were a negative into a positive, and their weaknesses into strengths. And going into the PS4 generation from the PS3 generation, they absolutely accomplished that. Now, I would say that one of the weaknesses going into this generation that was also a problem with the PS3 generation is they didn't really have those launch exclusives or those exclusives ready in a timely manner for the first couple years of the console. Those console exclusives that really showcase what you can do. I can remember being excited for Metal Gear Solid 4, but that took a couple years to come out, and then with obviously Uncharted 4, that got delayed a couple times and things like that. But at the end of the day, the games did come, but that was a weakness. Now going into next generation, that looks like a strength, and now it looks like they're turning another weakness into a strength. What's up, everybody? The Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews. Yes, I am back with another video. Thank you so much for joining me. Please have a fantastic day. If you really want to support the channel, all you got to do is like. If you really, really want to support the channel, then you know what? You can hit the bell. You get notified of all the content. I do daily content, folks. Daily content. I'll take your suggestions, too. If you want me to cover something or review something. Yes, I'm getting back into the reviews. Those are coming. This channel is going through a little bit of a fluctuation and some changes, so expect more things to come along the way. If you want to become a member of the channel, that's always welcome too. I'm putting together a podcast. Maybe you have a voice that wants to be heard and be part of a podcast. Let me know. The_Crapgamer on Twitter, at the MOH space Crapgamer Xbox Live, and just Crapgamer on PSN. So, with that being said, turning your weaknesses into strengths and fortifying your strengths, right? So we know that Sony does great exclusives, right? They've been doing them many, many years. In particular, this past generation, they really went all out. A lot of people said, well, they really just follow the same template, like these open world, third-person kind of action-adventure, single-player games. Again, they're doing that like nobody else. In fact, they might be the only ones really doing that with like a photorealism added in. So if you look around to the games that used to offer that, there's nothing like that anymore. Even stuff like, say, Mass Effect, they added an online portion. Sony, they aren't baking on any kind of online stuff. They're just offering the best single-player AAA experiences in gaming, and that's a feather in their cap. And obviously they want to continue doing that, and they are. Listen, they just got stronger as the generation went on. Absolutely continued to get stronger, and that is a big feather in the cap for them. Again, they just released The Last of Us 2. Here we are, literally, 5 months away from the next generation, and we got The Last of Us 2, possibly the best game of the generation. We also have Ghost of Tsushima coming and Iron Man VR, so they've got constant flows of content coming in for their fans, and that's how you set yourself apart from everybody else in the industry, and that's why people trust Sony, that's why people go with Sony. Now, when it comes to other things, you're going to obviously have to upgrade. Listen, I was right there on the front lines bashing PlayStation Network, right? It was a mess. Yes, 2011, we're all aware. It's very funny to me because a lot of people want to bring up, can we let go of 2013 and the Xbox One reveal? It was so long ago, etc., etc. I'm all for that. But if we're letting that go, can we let go of the 2011 PSN hack, please? Let's move on. We're only a couple generations removed from that. Time to move on. And I have to be real. The second half of this generation, PSN was absolutely reliable. It was absolutely the right way to do things. They really cut down on any kind of problems, and I feel like it was maybe even more reliable in terms of service stability than Xbox Live. If you think about this, Xbox Live had far fewer people on it this generation than last generation, and we had far more problems. I don't really understand where that comes from, but with Sony, PlayStation Network usually was down at least a few times a year. They would do planned maintenances and stuff like that. They aren't doing that anymore. So it looks like they've really turned things around. Going a step further, they've officially made some announcements about this stuff, and it's very, very interesting to hear them come out and say this. Again, people really, really want Sony to kind of double down on what they're doing, and they want Sony to be able to be a trustworthy place. I know a lot of people go, well, I don't store my information on PlayStation or the PlayStation Store, or I don't have, store my debit card on PlayStation. I understand why you would think that and why you wouldn't do that given the past, but with that, it looks like they are really, really doubling down and trying to fortify the things that they were worst at and now it might be one of the things that they're absolutely the best at. So I think that that's going to be something that a lot of people are going to really kind of take notice of, and it's very exciting to see this kind of happen. So they've actually officially confirmed this. Sony, ever since the big PlayStation hack of 2011, really Sony has taken some extreme measures to make sure it never ever happens again. And actually, which was starting a couple days ago, they offer money to those who are able to expose PlayStation 4 security vulnerabilities. They actually partnered with HackerOne. They're looking to offer money to anyone who is able to expose serious vulnerabilities in the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 network. It's actually been dubbed the Bug Bounty Program. They've outlined a tier risk list of how much they will offer for each vulnerability. For the PlayStation 4, Sony is offering $50,000 for a critical risk, $10,000 for a high risk, $2,500 for medium risk, and $500 for low risk, while the PlayStation Network, Sony is offering $3,000 for critical risk, $1,000 for high risk, and $400 for medium risk, and $100 for low risk. They have the program in place for quite some time now, apparently, but now only Sony officially announced a reward program for everyone that participates in it. So, again, this is something, and I will link this article and you can check it out. Maybe you're a person that likes to dabble in this kind of stuff. This is actually a way to make your stuff even stronger and take the most advantage of it, because you have people out there who are actually on your side trying to make money exposing these flaws so that you can make things even better. And I love that approach. I love that they're taking the approach with security, and they're taking, PlayStation Network security at a whole different level that they've taken in the past. Again, it's something that maybe that they've struggled with before, but I do finally see them kind of coming to terms with, hey, we're living in a world where everybody's connected, everybody's information is out there, and you don't want to put anybody in jeopardy and have anybody kind of, lose money and things like that. So this, absolutely fantastic news. And again, it's really nice to see Sony go out and sort of push this in a way that says, hey, we realize we've had some problems with this in the past, but we've kind of come along and we've corrected it, and we're doing things a lot differently now. Bear with us, because we think that it's going to be something that we continue to work on and things like that. So I do feel like Sony is on the right path here. They're listening to what fans want. They're shoring up some small problems that they've had in the past. I absolutely love the fact that this is something that they've continued to do time and time again. Again, a lot of people insist that Sony is kind of getting cocky or resting on their laurels. I don't see that at all. I see them going out and doing things that a cocky Sony wouldn't do, including 4,000 plus backwards compatibility titles, doubling down on security. Looks like they're going to be coming out with multiplayer titles as well as single player titles. I see them really sort of branching out and doing things much differently than they've done in the past, and I really do expect to see them continue to grow and continue to be the market leader. That's what it takes in this industry. You can't just kind of rest on your laurels. Listen, Microsoft, to their credit, and Phil Spencer and company, to their credit, they have done a really good job at getting people excited about Xbox. They've turned things around. My gripe with Xbox and Phil Spencer has been always, anyways, been kind of the fact that they really kind of dropped the ball in terms of what they've been able to do by not doing the games and fixing the game problem first. Like, that to me is what should have been fixed first and foremost. The fact that it wasn't is a bit of a bummer, and it does kind of bum me out a little bit to see that they didn't really go all out and fix the game problem. They let us kind of sink in the mud for an entire generation almost for the past 5 years. I would have liked to see them fix that first, and then you can worry about all the other stuff. It seemed redundant to do it the other way around, because you're losing people left and right to the other platforms. But again, hopefully they fix that and we have a fair fight, right from the start next generation. Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, really, really looking forward to seeing what's going on. And, again, Sony fixing their problems, doubling down on what they sucked at. They're fixing that, fortifying that, and doubling down, again, on what they're great at. So really cool stuff to see. Again, Sony seems like they're really intent on fixing the problems that they have. They're not resting on their laurels. I love that. So despite what people are saying, cocky Sony isn't back, and I'm very excited to see what they have to bring to the table next generation. And we're getting closer than ever, folks. Just think about it, right? November 20, That looks to be the release date. I'd be seriously surprised if that wasn't the release date, but that's right around the corner if you think about it. So I know I'm extremely excited by all this stuff, and I would love your feedback on it. Again, you can hit me up on Twitter at @_Crapgamer, Xbox Live, MOH Space Crapgamer, or PSN, just Crapgamer. And I try to respond to everybody as often as possible, and I really appreciate the feedback. Let me know. Let's help. You can help my channel get better. You can help me out. I love that. Be critical, but do it in a way that's helpful, not hurtful. Rack 'em up. Game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.